Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Libby Shaw Show podcast. So today I'm going to be offering my thoughts on Kevin Federline's book, You Thought You Knew. So I've just finished reading this book, which came out last year, and lifts the lid on his relationship with Britney Spears. So the book starts off with Kevin talking about his life growing up, how he'd mess around with drugs and his passion for dancing and music. After numerous castings in music videos and touring with artists like Pink, he eventually wound up at a party that Britney was at, and they hit it off immediately. Their relationship was fast, fiery, and very passionate, with her wanting to take him on tour with her. The engagement happened very fast, and they were married after only 3 months together. While they were together, they'd go to parties, and there was one situation which almost ended their relationship. Kevin walked in on Britney kissing another woman and was obviously understandably hurt by this. This was, of course, before Britney's breakdown, and she apologized to Kevin and they were able to work things out. But he does write in his book that their relationship was never the same after that. And so, unfortunately, the peace would not last long. At another party, a short time after their two sons, Preston and Jaden, were born, Britney was getting high on coke and other drugs, and this was while she was still breastfeeding. And this was the point of no return for Kevin. Their relationship was over. It was around this time that he was promoting his first album, and he found out that she'd filed for divorce from a reporter. Kevin says in his book that Britney's PR team advised her that it would look bad for her to be dropped again, especially after her relationship with Justin Timberlake. Britney, of course, continued to go down on a downward spiral, and that is, of course, what led to the conservatorship. Britney made terrible decisions, the hair shaving incident, locking herself in a bathroom with Preston when he was just a baby, and many more incidents that Kevin doesn't go into his book, but he hints at. Those aren't even the most alarming things, though. The most alarming things are that Britney wasn't just a danger to herself. It's that she was a danger to her sons. And she would get violent and aggressive with them. It actually got to a point where they refused to go to her house because they just didn't feel safe. Kevin makes it very clear in his book that he never wanted to keep the children away from Britney, but that he had to do what was best for them so they wouldn't be harmed. He also talks about Britney abusing the children over what they were wearing and forcing them to be in Instagram posts against their will. Another thing that we weren't aware of previously, despite seeing her dancing with knives in Instagram posts, is that all the knives had to be removed from Britney's house because she couldn't be trusted with them, and that she'd sometimes stand at Preston and Jaden's bedroom doors with knives in her hand. It's not clear if she wanted to harm them, but given her mental state, it's not at all beyond the realm of possibility. In short, it was not a safe environment for them, and that's why visits were stopped. It was never that Kevin was trying to turn the children against Britney. It's simply that they weren't safe around her. Kevin's right in his book when he says that the Free Britney movement didn't consider the facts. All they thought about was their favourite pop star being in the conservatorship rather than what actually led to that situation in the first place. He acknowledges that because of Britney Spears' alcoholism and violent temper, he wasn't the right person to manage Britney's affairs, but also says that she needs help or the irreversible will happen. He's right. Anyone can see that Britney is not well and she needs to accept help. But like Kevin says, she can't truly get help unless she admits that she has a problem, which he says she's never actually done. The one thing that's also very clear in this book is that Kevin was never the problem. Although he's messed around with drugs and made bad decisions in his life, it's very clear that his kids are his priority and that he would do anything to protect them, including putting his career on hold. And now for my opinion. I don't think Britney should be under a conservatorship again, but I do think she needs to take responsibility for her issues and stop blaming the media. Kevin and her former staff members for what she's brought on herself. She also needs to go to rehab and really get genuine help and stop abusing drugs and alcohol. She needs to make an effort to get better. Until she does, she'll never actually get well again. See, over the years, everyone's always thought that people weren't in Britney's corner. But if even half of what Kevin says in his book is true, then that's not actually accurate. Britney pushed everyone away. And so Kevin's book has been out since October last year. And while I've only given a short summary of what he talks about, I can honestly say the title is very, very fitting because there were things that I had no idea about. And so I recommend this book to absolutely anyone who wants to know the other side of the story. Because as Kevin says, you thought you knew. But we didn't. We didn't know the facts. We didn't know the truth. His book gives some insight into what was really going on. Anyway, thank you for tuning into episode 10 of the Libby Shaw Show podcast. See you next time.